Now, if you didn't see my last update, well, the reason why this movie review is coming out so late is because, well, I deleted my Basically Batman vs. Superman movie review. I deleted that thing twice. Yes, that does sound like something I would do, right? Because, Brandon. Silly Brandon. Anyways, all that being said, I worked extremely hard to get this thing out, so, if you guys can, please help me out by subscribing to my channel, sharing this video, liking my page, and all that good, wonderful stuff that you guys can do to help me out. And I thank you for subscribing to me, and if you are my subscriber, I thank you very much. You guys are basically super awesome. I'm basically Brandon. Now let's just get to this movie review. So I want to talk to you about the actual fight between Superman and Batman. Did it actually live up to the expectations that we all had? Yeah? I just wish it was longer. Basically, the fight between Batman and Superman, it was about 5 minutes long, and it was very disappointing. I really wish the fight would have went on a lot longer. It kind of got me mad. If you're gonna name the title of your movie Batman vs. Superman, you're gonna want to see a fight between Batman and Superman. Yeah, of course we'd be mad that there's only maybe 5 to 10 minutes of them only fighting, and a lot of talking during the fighting, by the way. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy the talking, because they had a lot of good one-liners in the fight, and I enjoyed that, and it seemed very iconic seeing, a fan favorite Superman and another fan favorite of Batman, and they're fighting and they're saying really cool things to each other as they fight. Yeah, that's all cool and stuff, but I want to see the action. I want to see all the tools that Batman can pull against Superman, and he does do a good bit of that in the 2-minute amount of time. Batman geared up to fight Superman, and he had like this little plan that when Superman lands here and he steps on that, this'll happen. Everything that happened to Superman, it was pretty much very telegraphed, and Superman pretty much knew how to deal with all these situations. It looked like Superman was very much indestructible in their fight. The only chance Batman had against Superman in this fight was what I thought was going to happen, just in a different way. And how convenient, Batman made a scepter to stab Superman. It was a scepter of kryptonite. It was to stab and kill Superman, and he was about to kill Superman whenever he gassed kryptonite, made kryptonite into a gas, and tried killing Superman off that way. I do have to say, Batman did beat Superman up pretty badly when the kryptonite gas had effect on Superman, but it lasted for about a minute of movie fight scene, and then Batman would throw a punch at Superman, hit him in the face, hit him in the face, hit him in the face, then it just started becoming steel, and it just didn't work, and Superman was back to full power. This movie was for the fans, and I think the fans want to see a good fight between these two guys. If you're gonna have it in your title, then commit and actually make this movie a fight between Batman and Superman. Don't throw another monster in this movie if you don't have to. And you didn't have to. You got blockbuster names like Superman and Batman. For goodness sake, get them to fight each other. There's no need for a monster to be in this movie. It's big enough. Batman and Superman, that's big enough. You don't need to cram in a monster. Lex Luthor didn't have to be part of this movie, okay? The only purpose of this movie was to set up another movie. My wife told me that, by the way. Oh yeah, and the whole setup between the Justice League, for goodness sake, make that a cameo at the end of the movie, for like, when the first trailer came out for this movie, it was just a picture of Batman and a Superman, the symbol, and they only called it Batman versus Superman. And 3 months before the movie actually was released, they added on to the title and they called it Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. Are you kidding me? This movie really just needed to stay simple. It needed to stay its course. Be Superman versus Batman. Just get them to beat the crud out of each other. I don't care. I just wanted to see a good fight between Batman and Superman. And if all they could do is give us 5 minutes of that, it was just a big letdown. I'm not saying that this movie was really bad. Let's see, what else can I say? Alright, let's talk about that monster I was talking about. Alright, let's talk about Doomsday. Doomsday was the main bad guy in this movie. You didn't need to have a bad guy in this movie besides just Batman and Superman, but that's just my opinion. Let's talk about the fight between Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Doomsday. It seemed like Doomsday was unstoppable. Everything you threw at Doomsday, he would do an explosive wave and just throw a beam of explosions. Everything that Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman threw at Doomsday, it just seemed like Doomsday was nearly unstoppable. If they cut off his limb, his arm would grow back. If you threw a giant nuke, which they did, they threw a nuke at Superman and Doomsday in space. They made sure it was in space. It was okay, right? Because if you blow stuff in space, stuff isn't gonna come hurling at the Earth, right? Shoot a nuke off into space and see what happens. No, that's retarded. That's I probably shouldn't say retarded, but it was retarded.
You should just keep all of them.
Yeah. Anyways, Doomsday just seemed really unstoppable. The only thing that would kill him is what would kill Superman, and that's kryptonite. So Superman grabs the kryptonite scepter, and he's feeling like a human just flying to Doomsday himself. He's losing his energy. And he finally gets to Doomsday, and he stabs Doomsday right in the heart. And right when that happens, Doomsday reacts to it, and he's like, and he turns his arm into a freaking needle. He grabs Superman, and he sticks his arm straight through his chest. That was pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal. I was like, oh my god. This is the ending of the movie if you haven't caught on yet. Superman dies, Doomsday dies, like the comic book, because they had to throw that into this movie. It couldn't be about Batman, it's just Superman. It goes to a black screen, and then I'm like, did the movie just end? The movie better not have just ended. And then you start hearing the bagpipes, and I'm like, I don't see an image. Is this ending? And I was like, oh, thank God there's an image. Okay, oh, it's a funeral. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I cried when the little girl showed Batman that her mom was in the building. I almost cried at that scene, and I did cry next to my dad. I was trying to hide it like he wasn't seeing. I turned my head to the side, and I was like... A tear ran down my eye. It was hilarious. Anyways. Okay, so let's talk about my final verdict on Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Ultimately, I did enjoy this film despite all of its flaws. This movie didn't suck. If you want to see a clean superhero movie, don't go see Deadpool, okay? Go see Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. So my final verdict for this movie, I scored Batman vs. Superman an 8.5. This movie is fun and exciting, and it's good to go see with your friends, your family, or just go see it by yourself. This is just a great movie to just go see, just to enjoy and have, you know, good times. If you enjoyed my video, please leave a like, share with your friends, or subscribe. And as always, I'm basically Brandon, and that's basically it.